Christ.
Yeah, now what I want to get across to the people, Gary, is that this is mind-blowing if you realize that the critical scholars, the 4,000, you're saying the 2,000 of those guys that are the most influential, 95% of them virtually agree that this is historical and it goes back early to that time period before Paul even accepted Christ. And so this is important information, and I'm saying if they get that far, you have to ask, where did those folks in the 24 months, where did they get this information about Jesus' deity, his death, and his resurrection, which is in almost every one of these little creedal statements? Let's take a couple examples here. 2 Timothy 2:8, remember Jesus Christ, risen from the dead, descendant of David, according to my gospel. Okay?
So they got the gospel summarized. And there are the titles. See, I get a fair number of emails when people say, where do you get deity in those verses? Deity is my generic term for the titles that we have already discussed. When Jesus is called Lord, Son of God, and Messiah or Christ, I use deity so I don't have to repeat every name every time. But that's where you get the high Christology.
Well, let me give you a verse that
Sure.
does both of them, okay? Take Romans 1, 3, and 4 with a similar theme,
Yep.
okay? And here, Paul juxtaposes the man Jesus, and he says, made of the seed of David, according to the flesh, with the divine Jesus, whose claims were vindicated by him rising from the dead.
Right.
Here's the actual text, the creed that's in Romans. Regarding his Son, who as to his earthly life was a descendant of David, and who through the Spirit of holiness was appointed the Son of God to power by his resurrection from the dead. And then he says, Jesus Christ our Lord. What are the thoughts on this little creedal statement right here?
The three terms that I just identified is my shorthand is deity. All three are in that text. He's Christ, he's Son of God, and he's Lord. And then, so you have them all rolled in. That's pretty high Christology, pretty heavy Christology. And then you have, he was shown to be these things by being raised from the dead. You mean he was never those things before? Of course he was, but the resurrection showed him, it was his coming out party. The resurrection said, hey, you know, he made these claims before, now you know it. It's the roller coaster, the kind that shoots off from the gate. That's the kind Christianity is.